Blackstone presents Kolchak, the Night Stalker by Jeff Rice. This book is read by William Katt. 75 million viewers, a television record. On Tuesday, January 11th, 1972, The Night Stalker terrified and delighted millions of viewers on ABC. The vampire flick, written by horror legend Richard Matheson and based on an unpublished novel by Jeff Rice, was an immediate hit, garnering the highest ratings ever for a TV movie. The Night Stalker, starring Darren McGavin, was so popular that it spawned a second movie of the week, 1973's The Night Strangler, also written by Richard Matheson, and a TV series, which ran for one 20-episode season the year after that. But, like many of the monsters he hunted, Kolchak was resurrected, first in late-night reruns in the late 70s, and then in the early 90s after Chris Carter, creator of The X-Files, cited the immense influence the monster hunting reporter had on the groundbreaking Fox series. Soon after, new prose stories and comics followed. This is the iconic novel by Jeff Rice on which that first film was based and which inspired countless writers and artists. This special edition corrects typos and restores text and sections deleted in previous reprints. We made all attempts to make this edition resemble the original printing of the novel. Viva Kolchak! James Aquilone, publisher, Monstrous Books. For Jeff Rice, who gave us Carl Kolchak. Forward. Kolchak the Nostalgia Stalker. I first heard about the troubled reporter Carl Kolchak as if he were a thing of legend. Well, I suppose he is. Though the televised movies and series had aired before I'd landed on Earth's surface, there were enough references to Kolchak in my monster magazines, and I'd noticed enough horror convention fan art that I knew I needed to know more about this beleaguered reporter, uncovering all manner of supernatural menace. When I was finally able to track down episodes in VHS that had been taped from tapes, the grainy quality on warbly old polyester ribbon made for a crunchy viewing experience that only added to the magical nostalgia of the great Kolchak. As time passed, I felt more connected than ever to this man who was plagued by the devastating pain of being disbelieved and discredited. I'm a recovering alcoholic, an addict who spent a lot of time burning personal bridges, not unlike Carl K., and when I finally started to turn my life around and focus on doing the right thing, it was hard for people to believe me. There was something so elevated and electric in the stories of Kolchak that also helped transport me to another world in my imagination. When I began developing my series, Count Crawley, Reluctant Midnight Monster Hunter, I was massively inspired by Kolchak. I remember coming from the set of MacGyver and talking to the creator of our show, Peter Lenkov, about our mutual love of Kolchak. In fact, Peter introduced me to Mike Richardson at Dark Horse Comics, who ended up publishing my series about an alcoholic news reporter who discovers that monsters aren't just real. They've been circulating fake news and information into our culture for decades to keep us from learning that truth about monsters. In the original book, thankfully released after the TV movie was a hit, Jeff Rice's protagonist is such a marvelously complicated character, and he checks all of the boxes that I love as writer, as actor, and just all-around monster kid storyteller. Kolchak is flawed and fallible. He's a bit of an a-hole, and yet you love him because he's just so earnest and his tattered heart is worn so heavily on his tattered sleeve. Also, there's something about a villain like Janos Skorzeny that makes me wish for a chance to bring the ageless bloodsucker to life again on the screen, either big or small. I hope that there are many more Kolchak films, series, comics, and all manner of stories to come. What a great gift Carl Kolchak has been to those of us who dream of hunting the night haunters. And for those who dream of being a reporter like Carl, well, I suppose Kolchak doesn't offer the most inspiring advice. My dear, nobody wants to be a reporter like me. David Desmalchian, March 2024.